Screenwriters beat Q&A.
The Monday edition.
The Monday edition, yes. Hi, everybody out there in Twitter.
Tuesday if you're in Australia.
Tuesday, there you go. That's right.
We're joining you on a special Monday edition. This is actually a test of our Q&A. We're going to get into some good Q&A because we have some friends of ours there watching us on the Google Hangouts, but posting questions on. So all you can try hashtag #AskScreenwritersBeat.
I'll say that again, Anne, because you're cutting out. It's hashtag Ask Screenwriters Beat.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, my connection has been iffy. So if I fade out, you guys take over. Okay.
Be careful what you ask for.
I know. I do want to say that the great and very talented Marla Hayes, a screenwriter and a publisher, us via Twitter, as is Joanne Hess, who's also an option writer and a voiceover artist who we had once as a panelist.
That's right.
Hi, ladies. Great to see you.
Absolutely.
You guys, today one of the things I wanted to talk about was how screenwriters can promote themselves using social media. I'll be looking for some questions up about that, but in the meantime, I know Eric, LinkedIn. Tell us a little bit more, what you haven't told us already.
I know, right? Go look at episode 17. No, play it. No. It's a decision that I just had to make because I'm not really a PR marketing, especially about myself. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It just seems weird. So out of MSc, the Master Screenwriting Certificate Program, we had a whole phase on. Actually, there's two of them, but the first phase was on marketing a script. I just had to totally buy in. You know what I mean? I had to say, like, look, how else are people going to know about your stuff unless you tell them about it? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, simple and plain. You could write the greatest script ever, but if you don't tell anybody about it and you don't put it up anywhere for people to see, or people who might, be able to glance at the log line, something, how else are they going to know about it? So I just kind of had to get out of my own way and say, you know what, let me dive into this social media thing where you can connect with, you get access to people that you probably wouldn't get maybe if you called their production company or if you sent them a snail mail letter, you know what I mean, which might go right into the trash can. Yeah. You couldn't really get to know the person. When I say no, not like tight bond, but I'm just saying get to know something about the person, but now you could like check their Facebook, you could check their LinkedIn, you can see what they tweet about, and you can get a little note about them that might be an important segue into introducing yourself and introducing your script to them. So it definitely, if you use it right, the better you get, the smarter you get about it. It can definitely help you catapult your scripts in your career.
Cool. I think Margie obviously has done a lot, and as well as I have recently really dove into LinkedIn. But one of the things, let's talk about our goals when we're self-promoting. I mean, promoting ourselves as talented professional screenwriters, right. And we're networking, right? Right, Margie?
Right. Yeah, and I think it's just like I'm using LinkedIn too as part of the Master Screenwriting Certificate with Screenwriting U. I'm just in phase 2 and new to using LinkedIn as much as we are, and I'm learning that it is definitely a learning process as you go, trial and error, and I'm learning that I'm building relationships first. Mm-hmm. I think is important. You don't just dive in, make a connection, send a pitch. That's it's almost as bad as just getting an unsolicited email sort of thing.
You want to make a good impression, right?
You do. So, like Eric said, you need to research them. You need to. I must admit, I'm not a big Twitter user, so that's something that I'm going to have to look into. But yes, you Google, you look around, you see what they've done, you see what their interests are if you can. You see if you can find any news about them. See if you've got anything in common. And like you just say hi and thanks for connecting, and just sort of find something that you can talk about other than your screenwriting at this stage. So to me, I think it's important that you build up the relationship first. Like yesterday, I made a brand new connection on LinkedIn, said hi and thanks, and I the whole day I was exchanging messages with this producer, and then hours later he asked for my script. So you can't just jump in and hit them with a query up front. Right. So it's all about, I think, getting relationships first.
Right.
That's a good point. Eric, what about you? Is that how you approach it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, imagine, sometimes I think we don't put ourselves in the producer's shoes sometimes. So imagine if you were a producer and everywhere you went to, someone was throwing a script at you. Like everywhere you go, you with your family, out to eat. You know what I mean? It's rude. I mean, I understand people want to be hungry and they want to be bold and make career moves. But there's some etiquette to this thing. So definitely, like I second what Maggie was just saying. If you get a LinkedIn connection, a Facebook connection, a Twitter connection, don't pitch the script as soon as they accept you. You know what I mean? Talk back and forth every time, especially like for instance LinkedIn. Every time they have a year anniversary or such and such just got promoted, I just say congratulations. I hope you much success in the future. That's all I say.
Right.
And if something is, if they post something, I'll make a comment, whether I really care about what they posted or not. But the fact of the matter is they do see Eric Ingram commented on your picture.
Right.
So they get used to seeing my name, and then eventually maybe a week or two later, it all depends on how much interaction we're having, I'll say, hey, look, and this is a part of the phase 4 that most people get into in the MSc, was when you do a recommendation letter, like, hey, can you read the first 10 pages of my script? But that's because I've already had 10 interactions with them.
Right.
Never never the first thing. Right. But there's an etiquette to this, and I think especially LinkedIn, especially I haven't done really Facebook a lot. Twitter, you can actually send them a message. If they friend you or they say they accept you, you can kind of send them a quick message. So where you can get right to them, be calm down and kind of go slow, because they would rather you. They'll realize that what like Maggie just said. The producer ended up asking you for the script.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what you want, instead of just you'll be like every other writer that sends them a query, or they just throw it at them, and you don't want that.
Don't want that. Let's remind everyone: ask Screenwriters Beat. That's how you can tweet us. I should probably write that on a piece of paper to show it on the screen.
Yeah.
We're testing this out. Something else is, so the big 3 maybe are LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter are the best way to do to set up a dialogue. But there's some other avenues where you're going to maybe try for one-way dialogue, as you just saying, hey, this is what I've done. And maybe someone's like, ooh, they're pretty cool and professional. I should contact them. Have you tried that?
What I missed the first part of that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I would say that if you there's two-way communication through things like LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook, right?
Right.
There's also one-way communication.
Right.
And
like a blog.
like a blog, but also through Twitter and Facebook, there's a lot of one-way communication where you can say, I just did.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you want to get people I want to work with them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can set up your own page and ask your friends to like it, and of course their connections will see that, you know, what's going on. So it's very much a network, and that's the other thing with LinkedIn. And I don't want to subvert what you were just saying, but you know, like the more connections you build up, you then become connected to all of their connections, or you get access to all of their connections, and you can connect with them. So that, you know, the network just grows and grows and grows, and the more you connect, the more people you reach. It's just huge. It's mind-boggling once you actually get started.
Right.
So yeah, very, very good. And I think like LinkedIn is definitely a professional network. It's not where people go to chat over, you know, like Facebook type stuff, and sometimes Twitter's, you know, pretty nonsensical, but LinkedIn is professional for sure. Yeah.
Is that important too, to keep what you're doing separate from maybe your personal life? Keep your working, promoting somewhere separate?
Yeah.
Well, see, having like the what I would call, you know, petty conversational stuff, gossipy kind of stuff. Absolutely. I mean, keep that stuff off. But let's say, you know, okay, you wrote a script. Okay, you got all that ready. But let's say, you know, something happened in the news, right, that somehow is related to your script, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can tweet or whatever, tweet LinkedIn, whatever, about that article, and you will see that certain people will comment back.
Yeah.
Right. And then see how it's so. I mean, see, then you kind of lead into that. It's just still. I just think unless it's very specific, like, hey, I'm trying to go. I just wrote a comedy, so I'm gonna go to all the comedy sites and say, hey, I got this new comedy, free, a log line contest. You know what I mean? First 5 page. You know, all these sites got all these kind of different things going on. Right. I'm saying, sure, go for it. And then if you get lucky, like I think a lot of PSA people are on this first 10 pages website. I'm saying if you get that, then you link that, you show that link to your people, and then more likely they'll start saying, "Hey, congratulations," and you look at their names, and then you have a conversation back and forth. So yes, you're right. There are two different. There's a conversation back and forth, and there's some of that. And then there's PR and marketing, which is what we were talking about at the beginning, which was, that's what I had to like just get over. Like, just, Eric, you got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know?
Margie, did you have something to that? We do have a first question.
I can't hear a thing.
Can you hear me? Are you on Twitter? Can you see the question?
I do. I can see it. Yes.
Can you read Marla's question then, if you can't hear me?
Sure. And hello, Marla. Good to see you as always. Do the important social media sites for screenwriters change over time? Example: popularity of Indiegogo and Slated. So I say it again. Do the important social media sites for screenwriters change over time?
Did that come through, Margie?
Did I go off?
I heard you. I don't know if I lost Margie. So technical issues abound, but no. I would say, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I would say that they can. I mean, certain ones work for certain probably genres too, right? Indiegogo, if you go and help somebody else promote their show or movie.
Right.
That's a great way to get noticed.
Right. I mean, there is such a thing as, you know, you're hot today and you're not hot tomorrow. I mean, I think you could use it all, because once let's say you were on website A, right, and then something happened and you were able to put your link up, or you got notoriety for something, right? And then, you know, a month from now, something's wrong with their link and and they're out of business, right?
Right.
Let's just say, I mean, that's a crazy scenario, but it could happen.
What about like Stage 32? Maybe is a better example.
Well, see, I think they're evolving. I mean, they have a couple a couple different things though. I mean, they have a nice way you can meet other writers and producers, and then they got jobs, you know what I mean, and then they got pitching. So I mean, it's kind of, I mean, they're kind of, you know, I would say a younger, you know, ink tip, you know what I mean. So there's so many they have 4, 5, 6 arms. So it's to say there's just one thing they do. I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Could you see which works for you?
Right, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
You can't do it all.
Right. Well, I mean, actually, I mean, you can network. You can network, right?
Yeah.
You can get jobs, right? You can do rewrite work and all this other stuff, right? You can pitch as a writer. You gotta be able to pitch. I'm trying to think what else. I don't think. Oh, they have class. I think they have classes and seminars too, so you can learn something. So sure.
On Stage 32.
Yeah.
Right. I would say test out a couple of these. And see which work for you. We have another question from Joanne. She wants to know what kind of things of your own do you post on LinkedIn to get your connections to respond.
Is Margie back? Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Go ahead.
I can see now. Look, I've seen people post their log lines and query letter. I have posted like our episodes of Screenwriters Beat. That.
Oh, it went out again.
I've posted links to. Can you hear me?
Now
I can. Now I can. Yeah.
She's lost us. I think that's good. Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Right.
This is crazy. Yeah. I must admit I haven't posted
Links to other things. Can you still hear me?
It's like it was with me. It comes and goes, right?
I wonder if you hold your earpiece, hold the thing to your mouth. I wonder what happens. Try it.
Margie, can you do it like this? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can't hear her.
Well, I think what she's saying is right. Some people have posted long lines. I know that I posted. I got John Corbett to read my script, and so that was good because people were like, "Oh, it's like a third-party endorsement."
Right.
I would say anything you feel comfortable posting about your either successes or who you just anything that shows you're professional.
Right.
Have you posted a log line, Eric? Though
I've never posted a log line. What I do is I'll put it in the summary on my page. Like this is the new, new script, fresh off the presses, that kind of stuff, right? But now I already posted. I kind of see that's kind of. It looks to me like you're just throwing anything at the wall. I mean, I'm saying whoever comes to my page, if they look at the summary of what I do, this is the new script I got, and under these are the credits. It's very specific. But no, I've never posted a log line or a query letter. I would send my query letter to somebody directly. Like I wouldn't just post it. Right.
And Margie was saying she posts like for Screenwriters Beat. I mean, I have put that actually on 32. There's an area to post your videos and about it.
Right.
And on Facebook.
Right.
Margie,
no, do that. Yeah, that's helping. That's what I'm saying. But it's not so much just for like an update. Like if you won something, like if you placed in a competition or something, then I would put that as an update.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But a query letter is just that's kind of just to the wind. You know what I mean? Like that's very that's kind of desperate. Kind of that doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. To me, that don't mean it. That don't mean it is. It's just to me it is. That's all. It's just
well, someone's going to check you out. That's not really what about you. They want sort of a resume kind of listing, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like I was saying before, I think they want, if they're looking for somebody who's going to write for them, they'll want to know something about the person first, not just jump in and have a look at their work just because it happens to be there, unless it is fantastic. And if it's fantastic, you don't need to put it out there for everybody to see.
Right.
You'll get your connections for sure.
Right. Right. It's a catch-22 to me.
Yeah. Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems. I don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I've never done that. and it just seems like everything, because it is a little, like Maggie said, a little more professional. So it's kind of direct. Like it's kind of like it's like saying to whom it may concern.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you put on your website.
Yes.
On your website, you can put that on your website, and if people want to go that far to find you.
Yes. Yeah.
Eric.
You could.
Put a link
Okay.
to
I've
it,
never
yeah.
done that.
You've never. Well, I don't put that on my website either, but I know some people do put log lines and
Right.
blurbs about all their available scripts.
And this, no, and the summary part, I just thought the way you were saying it was like it was an update or a post. Like I wouldn't do that.
Yes, I was saying that originally.
Oh,
but I was
okay.
saying if you went on your LinkedIn,
Right.
you could do that.
Right.
I don't know. With Facebook, I haven't posted that kind of thing either. And I know most people do it on a secure site, the
Right.
Screenwriting News site that we belong to for feedback.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a different situation because
Yeah.
you know it's not going out to anybody, and who even people that you connect to who have nothing to do with screenwriting. Everybody sees that, and it's not professional.
Well, it sounds like overall, networking takes time, and you can't look desperate. Right?
No.
That's rule number one. You really can't. I know it seems like petty, silly, stupid, whatever word you want to use, but you know what? It really is. It really reeks of. I mean, remember the old days when you send a letter through the mail, right? And then maybe they'll put them in a stack, right? And maybe they'll just throw them all in the trash can or not, right? So now it is a simple delete button.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. We have another question from Joanne Hess. This is a good one. It's what quantity of posts are necessary to be visible enough on social media? That's a great question. I think it would vary drastically. I mean, Twitter.
Well, I'm trying to think. When you mean visible, I'm trying to think.
So people see you. I mean, I know I try to at least respond to people or notice what other people are doing on Facebook and LinkedIn weekly.
Right.
But I think Twitter should be daily.
Yeah, I don't use it anywhere near enough. But when you do, I think it's, again, important to be professional and not just to respond to the petty stuff, pick who you're going to respond to and just keep it professional for sure.
I guess what I'm thinking about is, and it really depends on what stage you're in. Because what happens is there's a beginning stage, as with everything, where you get as many people as in your network as possible. So you want to let everyone know everything you're doing all the time, right? And then you kind of move up a little bit or get promoted, right? You start getting paid a little more, and all of a sudden now your stuff starts becoming direct. Like I don't just throw out this log line to 1,000 people. Like you know what I mean? But it's like stages. So to say like don't do that, I can't say that. I would never say that. I'm under the impression that you go until someone buys it. So whatever it takes until someone buys it.
But you need a regular presence. You can't just look like you're in once a month, right?
Right. But that's why you would do the articles. You comment on other people's things. You don't have to always. You could put up a writing article from another website. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like there's many things if you're talking about a presence or visibility. But doing log lines and query letters is that's a direct thing.
Well, it would have to, I think the question meant more like just in general, whatever you use to get out there, how often do you get out there?
Every day.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it should be scheduled in with your writing, obviously, first.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I allow an hour at the start of the day to get my social networking done, and then get into the writing.
Right. Right.
So I think you do. You make it a practice.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, don't just throw nonsense out there. Keep it professional, and then you won't look like a a wannabe.
Right.
Well, something else
yeah.
I've noticed is that you need to be ready for someone to contact you and say, "Oh, I'd like to read something of yours."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, we skipped a lot of steps here. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes.
but I mean, I've made that mistake, so it's great. You do have to. It takes time to build
Yes.
up knowing people, but be
Right.
prepared that some people will right away say, "What do you got?"
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So be
And
prepared.
that's see that's the thing. So there's one thing to be, PR marketing. So you could but you could use it two ways. One way is to say, let me test the waters to see if it's a viable, like if people really want it. Right? But be prepared to say, oh, you gotta make up a story, which is, oh, I just found a new plot point. I need 2 weeks. Right? If it's not ready. What I'm saying, if it's not ready, right? But if it's ready, yes, ready meaning polished. Someone is ready, give you some feedback, all this kind of stuff. Because some people are like, I want it for a weekend read.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's where we're lucky because, belonging to the Screenwriting U alumni, we can test our projects out on each other before we go out and let anybody else know about it. And I think it's important for writers in general to have somebody like that. You can't, you just don't see your own work like others do, and you need that feedback. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the smartest thing any of us have ever done is joining Screenwriting U to have that feedback ready and make the contacts. And we all know everybody in Screenwriting U's got contacts.
Oh yeah.
So
Margie keeps sending me contact. You're great. Margie finds stuff on LinkedIn. Oh, Ann, you should hear this. So, you guys should link into Margie. We have another question. Marla Hayes is asking, how much info are you going to put online for a screenplay or a project? Are we talking log lines or just... Did you see that one, Eric, online?
Yeah, I've seen that. What's LI? What is that?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. Okay.
Page 32.
Okay, stage. Okay. How much info? Log line.
I don't.
This is. I'm sorry if we're saying. Well, first of all, I said it before. I won't post my thing like that up. So I'm thinking. See, it should come through conversation. So it would usually start with a log. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Hey, what do you got, Eric? Log line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what we're actually going to put out there is that we're a screenwriter working on these kind of projects. So I would say I do contained action or something.
Exactly, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, have on your profile what you're good at. Let them know.
Mm-hmm.
Promote yourself.
Yes.
Don't sort of hide behind a whatever. Yeah, just put yourself out there.
Now, outside of us using, Google Hangouts, and these shows go directly on to YouTube automatically through the magic of Google. I did recently read that YouTube is a great way for writers to get out there, and that we should all be filming something every weekend, on our iPhones.
Yeah, with all the time that we have, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like that idea, it's another
yeah.
form of social media, but obviously, again, its content's got to be good. It's reflective of you.
Of course, because if it's not good, how many people will see it? And, are you just wasting your time? But then again, you would be getting practice at doing what you're doing, and of course you'd be getting better with each one. So
there you go.
I think
if you're really good at like you ladies are, because we've had almost 40-some shows where, not to say they were practice, but we have gotten better from between episode 1 and episode now. You know what I mean? So it's like anything. So you don't want to. It's the same thing of like sending out a unfinished log line or a terrible synopsis or query letter. You must wait until it is right. So you need to practice that pitch over and over and over and over again. And then when you got it down to a minute, 45 seconds or something like that, whatever you're gonna It shouldn't be longer than a minute. Let me put it that way. So that when you put it up there, it is actually exciting and intriguing and draws people to it. So that's practice too. That's the same thing as the practice it takes to write log lines and write query letters. You got to put the same. If you're going to start posting your video pitch, you better practice it. You better practice it just as much.
That is an idea. Have you ever posted a video pitch somewhere?
Well, BPF is that. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. It took me a while to say, all right, let me do it. But
Virtual Pitch Fest.
Yeah.
The Virtual Pitch Fest. They actually have a well that's just
Do they have a facility for a video pitch?
I didn't think so. I thought that was like Skype, right?
Yeah.
No. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So if you're talking to the person right now, like if I'm like, I have this action thriller. It is the most amazing. Okay, are you gonna buy that script? No. Right. So actually, it might help people to go take an acting class. If you want to be a real good pitcher, you might need to take an acting class. Because if it's a thriller, I need you to be like, I need you to be engrossed. You know what I mean? It's just if it's a comedy, I need to laugh. I mean, it's very, you know what I mean? But oh my God! And Tommy ran down the hill, and then he hit Jill, right? Come on now, like
red blood everywhere.
Exactly. I'm serious. You're selling it. What do they say? Sell the sizzle, right?
Yes.
Right, that's what they say, right? So you gotta be engrossed in what you're doing, but it takes practice. Some people don't like the pitch. Some people just, and if you're not good at that, the visual one might not be your thing.
Hey, Marla, there's a thing for you. Set up a website where people can do video pitches, and producers can go to and have a look at people pitching their projects. How about that?
Would be something for the world. I don't know if Marla wants to take that on, but everybody.
Right.
Let's see. We do have another question here. Let's see. Well, what do you think about creating a Facebook page and get a bunch of likes? Is it becoming white noise? So, like for a project, I'm assuming this is from Joanne Hess.
Right.
Are you guys doing that? I haven't done it for a script. Have you done it for a script?
No.
I have. I've done it for, I think, at least two. Maybe I did it. Maybe it's two. I know two. I got two of them up there.
Was it worthwhile?
No. And the only reason why I say that is I wasn't on it every day. I wasn't pushing it like that. You send your invites to your friends and they like it for you. Whether that goes to that connects you to somebody else, producer, all this stuff. I don't know. I think if you could get a real good poster, like if you can get a really good one, someone to do graphic or make it really good, I think it could be worth it. But if you're just doing like a basic, it's I mean, just for me, in my opinion.
I've done it for books and some of the book writing I'm doing to try to promote that. But I've also found it's a lot of work, and I do think that Joanne's right. It is white noise. I mean, you're not really offering much to people. So to me, a lot of these things need to offer something that's useful to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Screenwriters promotes us as writers, but also offers something to any screenwriter watching us.
Right.
And
So,
that's sort of one of my goals.
Right.
Motion.
You're going in and out again.
Did you get close to that?
Hold the mic! Hold it!
It's not the mic!
It's not, it's just, alright, it's just a bad thing, okay.
It's just, we're goofy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Well, we have another question. Hayes is asking, is social media, like through Facebook, are they really viable career tools, or are this long distance networking?
I'll say it again because you went in and out. I'll say it. Is for Marla, is social media really just for talking like Facebook, or a truly viable tool for our careers? What do you think, Maggie?
Look, I think people it depends on the way you use it. You know, like some people get on there and, like I said, just put anything and everything, and to me that's not a viable tool. But if it depends, you know, if you only post stuff that's interesting for other people, then I think yes, it can be a tool. And yeah, same with wherever you go, you know, like on Facebook, I try not to have anything other than writing stuff. Occasionally I'll, you know, put a photo, an amazing photo of whales or dolphins or turtles out there or something like that, because, you know, to me that's pretty spectacular. But you know, I just don't want to be trivial. And I think so much of social media is trivial, and if you can avoid that, then yes, it can be a tool for sure.
Right.
You know, I've connected with producers on there and promoted my work by staying in touch. You know, these are producers that I've met before in person, some of them, but yeah, it helps to have that personal, you know, that ongoing connection where they know what you're doing. Right. So yeah, it can be a tool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I know for, like, there's one producer in particular. I had met him at a Starbucks, right? Just he was reading scripts, and I was like, "What are you writing?" And blah 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 blah. So we met, all that stuff. We keep in touch, and so he just got married, right? Cool. So of course I send him a big note, right? Hey, congratulations! Cool. Nothing about writing.
Yeah. No.
Just a human being, right? Just, hey, congratulations. He hits me back, hey, man, so appreciate you taking the time out, blah, 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 blah. And you know, if you got something new, you can always send it to me. But, of course, I'll be on my honeymoon. I'm like, man, you know, but you see the conversation, but that's the conversation you want to have. Right. And not just, like I said, trying to use every attempt to pitch your script. Like, no, they got children. I mean, whatever they do, they like sports and your Green Bay Packers lost. You know, just that's how, you know. And then next thing you know, they be like, Eric, something just came up. Do you have anything for this? Because I'm in his circle.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I mean? Yeah. Like we were saying before, it's all about relationships, keeping the relationship going and keeping it professional, not trivial. Right. Yeah.
Hey, this is a real quick thing on Facebook and social media. People forget. So you think, like, if I post something, I think I'm just talking to my 1,000 friends, right? "Quote unquote" friends, right? And people can go back as far as you've been posting and see what you've been posting to learn about you. So be careful if you want to, you know, comment on every little news story and your political this and your religious stance on that. And be careful.
That's what I mean. You got to keep separate.
Right.
I also, I don't know about you guys, but I don't erase any of my messages on LinkedIn or my instant messages, and I look back at them to remind me too. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, me too.
Mental reminder.
Yeah.
Facebook. I don't think Facebook. You can erase them. You can archive them, but I don't think you really can erase them.
Oh, you can erase them. You can. Maybe they'll be there.
Well, you know they're not really erased, though.
I can erase them, but Facebook still has them forever.
Yeah, we go. Okay, there's a whole other thing going on there. So, but anyway, yes.
Well, Marla Hayes also asked another question, which you bring great, is that at what point, if any, have you found that this is an interference to your writing?
Oh, it can be very much so if you let it. Yeah, I think you just have to be strict. In fact, Nicole Kiefler in the last Screenwriters Beat was talking about an app that she uses to stop any sort of interaction with emails and social media, so that she can actually work. But I think if you get into a habit, it's all about habits. If you get into a habit of saying, okay, this is what I'll allow for my social media time, get it over and done with, then get into writing. Yeah, it can work.
Like you're in an office.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a writer who, a lot of times, yes, it's procrastination sometimes. Sometimes it's passing the time. Sometimes it's you might really research something and something leads to something, and next thing you know, you done click 10 pages and 10 links, right? But sometimes that's also creative. So I don't want to say no, but I like what Maggie said at the beginning. I have 1 hour to do all my social media stuff, and that's it. Get to writing,
Yep.
Good point. Well, guys, this has been a great test of our Q&A system.
We missed one.
Did you miss one? Oh, let's get one more in. Ooh.
It's from Marla. She said, have you discussed what are the most important social media sites for screenwriters? Protected ones.
Well, she asked, in a perfect script writing world, which sites would you limit yourself to rather than blank at all? So let's put those together.
Okay.
What would you give me two? What are your top two that you can't live without, Eric?
That I can't live without? Wow. Probably LinkedIn and writing. Well, writing in terms of getting myself out there, or just writing like.
Well, what do you find best for promoting yourself as?
For promote. Okay, so for promoting. Okay, so LinkedIn and probably Inktip.
Inktip.
Probably.
Well, but how are you promoting yourself on Inktip?
You go in there and I might have to have a extra session on this.
Oh well, you bring it up again. So is that like? Well, I know you post for free. You can post your short stories. Or your short
right. So you keep getting them, moving them up to the top. So you just kind of keep putting them in there. And you keep going to the top. Anyway, so here it is. So was it Thursdays? You get that letter, right? The 10 deals, 10 this, and 10 new ones, and all that stuff. Well, all you do is just take the names down.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Looking for what? Yeah, that's smart.
And then you find those people.
There we go.
Their media.
Yeah.
I also agree. Stage 2 is.
Yeah.
Information. So Margie, what are your top two?
Definitely LinkedIn, and I would say Stage 32 because I used to do the face-to-face pitches with Joey and Stage 32 and still get the emails of who's looking for what. So as soon as I get those, I go and check them on LinkedIn and see if they'll connect, and a lot of them do.
There we go.
So,
see?
Yep.
There we go. I do the same. I do the same thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We don't want Inktip or Stage 32 to stop doing that, though. So.
No.
Secret.
Well, we can bleep that part out there.
Yes, exactly. I would agree with both of those, LinkedIn and Stage 32. I would also mention, because Joanne Hess is bringing this up, that Facebook groups have been very good for her. So I would allow you one more. Do you have a Facebook group you would recommend besides Screenwriting U?
No, that was.
That's it, really.
Yeah, because I think anywhere you can work on your writing, go for it. I'm very selective about who I give my stuff to, read it. I'm very selective. It's just because the more you realize you don't need a lot of voices, you just need a couple that you could trust.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So
you can get so much. Noise and tangents. It can get crazy. Yeah.
But a search of Facebook groups is another very viable way to find a group you want to market to. I have not found producers looking for contained thriller, but if you're interested, I'll be there.
But see, it is a great point. But here, I ask you this then, Ann. So if you're looking for a contained group, right? Contained thriller group, or even contained by itself or thriller by itself, either way. But you don't know who's in there.
Right. That's why I said my group would have to be producers of.
You would do it to show you the producers. Okay. I missed that part. Okay, producers. Okay.
There are some. There is a producer part of several groups. Again, it's a time limit. Right now, I got to focus. I have Facebook, LinkedIn, and Stage 32.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get this stage 32 stuff, and they're doing a lot of stuff, and they get a lot of people in to pitch to and all that stuff. Like for instance, this was my next phase is I have to get over having to pay for someone to listen to my pitch. That's just
Yeah.
Well, that is a different show.
I'm just saying. I'm just nothing against it. I'm just saying.
That's not what I'm on stage 32 for.
Right.
I'm on the other part you mentioned because there's a lot.
There's a lot. They have a lot. No, they have a lot. Yeah, they have a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the people they're sending, I mean, it's so cool because they, it's really direct and they know exactly what they're looking for, which is like, oh my God, I got a comedy for this and da 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 da. I was like, what?
The more I think about it, the more I see the need for a site where you can actually put your pitch up, serious people, not just nonsense stuff. But yeah, I think there's a real avenue there.
There's an industry there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
free,
our next business.
Not paid. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of what YouTube is. I mean, it'll be kind of.
That is. I mean, that you can turn YouTube into something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and it's the same work. The same, you send out all the likes. You got, get people to come to your site or whatever. So you got to put the same work in. And I think it'll probably be very specific. I mean, granted, you can, if you get 500 friends to come watch your pitch, that's great, obviously.
Yeah.
But if it's, but only 10 of them if it's a comedy and, only 10 of them are comedy people, I mean, it kind of, okay.
You could do that and put a link on LinkedIn.
Of course.
Yeah.
Great ideas. Guys, we have come to the end of our Twitter. Woo! Our extravaganza. Good content here, and I really thank Marla Hayes and Joanne Hess for being out there in Twitter land.
That's right.
Thanks, ladies. Yeah, we appreciate it.
We do.
The 140 clapping hands.
Yes, there you go. And thank you very much, Eric Ingram, for being here. And,
it is my pleasure.
And Margaret Risley, all the way from Australia.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great. Thanks for having me.
We are going to do this again on Thursday. This was our test. The Thursday will be the big one where pretty much... Yeah.
What?
We will post this, though, for everybody.
All of this information we just gave is a test?
Well,
what?
It's a test that will be out there for the world to see, and I will promote it like a real show.
That's funny.
Okay.
What?
Give me a hard time. It's okay. It's okay.
I know.
It works, so we can actually share this.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And we will be back on Thursday. The show's topic will be everything you wanted to know about screenwriting, but we're afraid to ask.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Okay. So pretty much anything goes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody out there. What?
You sure you don't want to save that to episode 50?
50 to 100.
Yeah, that's going to be, wow, that might have like 6 or 7 volumes to it.
Yeah.
Well, it will still just only be an hour show. We'll have to cut it off, but
right.
could have many parts. It's a mini-series of...
there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, guys, thank you again. And Mark Isley, bye-bye. Eric Ingram, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate everybody. Thanks again, Marla and Joanne, and we'll see you again soon this week for another Screenwriters Beat. Bye!
See ya!